Hey y'all, it's me. It's your girl, the Binge B. What y'all been watching on TV? Okay, so I had an internal battle, right, of whether or not I should pick up where we left off with chapter 1 or whether we should just kind of skip to chapter 2. And so I got wise counsel. My wise counsel was like, just get your ass back in there and just going to start with chapter 2. Now, mind you, I didn't anticipate chapter 2 would be coming up quite this quickly. They is really pumping out these baddies seasons, so here we is, y'all. Okay, so the first episode of Baddies USA Chapter 2. It started with this long-ass recap. Baddies is infamous for their very long recaps, and they went through chapter 1. And I think really what I remembered the most about chapter 1 was the reunion with drunk-ass Diamond fighting, which actually will come back up on this season, which I don't know, I should have anticipated that, but I didn't. Anyway, they give us this long recap, and then it shows us. So we get this long-ass recap, and then it opens up to a scene in Orlando. And I guess the way it's set up, it looks like the girls are preparing for a show or something, and everybody is going at it. And there's a lot of people going at it, but one thing that really stuck out to me was it looked like Lex and Rolly gonna get it in. What? So they give us a flashback to the future. And so the credits roll, blah, 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 whatever. So the first episode then officially opens up with Natalie is doing a new song, and she is at her photo shoot or her video shoot for the new song, and she's got Diamond, Cold Killer, this new girl Sweet Neek, and I think Bahati show up too. So those are gonna be her little captains. Anyway, she's at the video shoot. She's kind of running down, the girls meet up or whatever. She's running down like the projection of the new season. Apparently they're going back on tour, and she has assigned captains to the new cruise. Now, let me tell you something. Zeus, they get creative. They're getting creative. I thought it was going to be a really good turn when they decided to go on the road and take their music on tour. I was like, oh, that's a good way to capitalize on what they already got going on. But now, Zeus is infringing upon all the other hood-rich networks. And we got a couple of different fleets, right? Now, so for the same network, to be fair, Jocelyn's Cabaret is a show that's already on the network. So I don't know that that's really the same thing as hijacking a whole network. But she actually have a few girls on from Jocelyn's Cabaret, and Sweet Neek is going to be the captain of that little squad. We have the Now That's Zeus girls, so you know what that means. They come from Now That's TV. We have the Baddies Gone Wild, which same network, different show, the younger version of the Baddies, them little girls that had their little season last year or something. And then we have what I guess the last crew is broken up in trios. I don't really understand a whole lot of the logic behind that. And then you just got like a few of the little stragglers that's, not stragglers, that sound fucked up, but you got a few of the people that kind of like rock solo or they kind of cool with everybody, you know what I'm saying? So she gives them their little group and assigns them who's going to go with them. Now, after Natalie does this at the video shoot with the new girls, then she actually goes to squash her beef with Scotty. Now, I have to say, first off, I was intending to watch Scotty with the baby. I could not even get through the first episode. I really like Scotty, but she is one of these people that really have to have kind of an ensemble thing going on. Like, she make a good fit for a group. I like her a part of a group, but it just wasn't, I don't know. I couldn't get into that shit. I don't know. I really wanted to. I think if I had an idea for her and Jada, they should do like some model shit. I would watch a show like that with her on there. Of course, now she's a mother, so she's busy. She's taking care of her little precious little bundle of joy. She looks so beautiful. I remember Rolly was telling her, Rolly went with Natalie to meet Scotty at her place with the baby. The baby was brand new. She had to be a couple days old. She was real little and still asleep. So she was still real new on this footage. And Rolly went with Natalie to see Scotty and the baby. And Rolly was like, Scotty looked like an angel sitting there. And I have to agree. I have to say, Scotty is so beautiful. And she looks so cute holding her little baby. And that girl was just meant to be. Some people just meant to be mamas. That's just what they supposed to be doing. Scotty got that. So I really like Scotty. I couldn't get into the show. I couldn't tell y'all what went on with that. I do feel like Lemmy don't really like her for real, but y'all know. Anyway, we know how that go. You know what I'm saying? She looks deliciously gorgeous in that little precious little ball. I couldn't see her face real good. I couldn't see the baby's face real good, but I know she cute. So they go over there and they talk, and her and Nat kind of squash their little beef, and Natalie made a point to emphasize how not jealous she was of Scotty, which I found to be fascinating. If you weren't jealous of her, why would you even say that? Although I will say that sometimes in situations like that, first off, Natalie did bring Scotty into the fold, right? Scotty wasn't really on the radar like that. So Natalie obviously is kind of the higher up. But Scotty definitely surpassed her when it came to priority. You know what I'm saying? Like, Scotty got up in there with Boss Man, and it just was a rap, and that's just how they go, you know? So I can see Natalie feeling some kind of way when it comes to the type of pull that Scotty may have. Now, I don't think Scotty is a really demanding type of person, right? Like, she might be with her man, but I don't see her, like, getting on the show and then get with him and then trying to, like, outdo all the girls or... You know, like, she just don't come off like that. Now, we don't know what she look like behind the scenes, so I'm not going to say Natalie tripping all the way or nothing. You know, I think there was some jealousy between the two of them, but I don't think she was jealous. I don't think Natalie was jealous of Scotty necessarily because she won't Lemmy, but I do think that she was probably a little bit jealous of Scotty because Scotty came in there and then surpassed her ass when it came to priority. Hey, if you ain't progressing, what you doing? You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, they have their little talk, and everything seems to go pretty well with them. And then next, we go to a scene with Tommy and this new girl, Ciroc. I don't fully understand the whole dynamic between them. From what they explained, apparently, Ciroc was the girl that snuck Biggie at some event in Houston on Chapter 1. And apparently, Tommy, I guess, just, like, recruited that bitch off the street to have her come in and whip a whole ass right quick. So, I don't really know how you know. But... apparently, Ciroc is feeling some kind of way because maybe she's like feeling disrespected by Tommy or something. But anyway, they meet up at some little restaurant. They go in there and talk and they get into it. I think Ciroc was feeling some kind of way because she was saying that she felt like Tommy let her get jumped. So she was like, you know, you call me to help you out. I come to help you out. And then when the shit get real thick, like you don't even have my back. I think that's the position she was taking. Girl, have you seen Tommy? Like, Tommy don't fight for real. Tommy... she talk a lot of shit. I think she used to get down when she was younger, but that bitch pushing 40. We in the same bracket. Girl, she is not gonna be... she fuck around and break a hip bone or some shit trying to wrestle with you bitches. She ain't finna do all that. That's why she call you. But anyway, so they have their little talk and it does not go well. They end up getting pretty heated at the table as they talk. But Tommy get up and she leave out. Ciroc had followed her outside, and I guess Tommy... she moved with goons now. Apparently, she had two bitches waiting for her downstairs on the Escalade. And so Ciroc ended up running around with both of the girls that was there with Tommy for the shit that she was mad at Tommy about. So next we go to, it's some little venue. I guess they in LA somewhere. And Diamond the Body has been appointed to be the captain of the Now That's Zeus girls. So the first girl to come in is Ivory. I'm so glad to see Ivory back because I think she was gone the last 2 seasons. Last season we seen her on was Baddies Africa, I think. So that was just one. Anyway, Ivory is back. Yeah. I was real happy to see that. And I guess she had her some surgery, which I didn't know about that until her and Dolly was talking about some shit. But we gonna get to that later on. But Ivory looks really good. You can see the little growth on her. She done got her some little money. You know what I'm saying? She looking a little more cultured and shit. So Ivory is back up in here. And I'm so glad to see that. E.T. is back. I like E.T. E.T. got a little soft spot in my heart. Like, E.T. is one of them type of people that she don't articulate well. And it don't mean she dumb. You know how some people, they don't talk that good. It don't mean they dumb. They just, it take them a minute to find their words. Like, they got to search for their words and shit. That's what E.T. is giving me, right? Again, she look good. She been on the move. I think she's probably, like, high up level royalty at the Now That's Zeus Network. So she's, like, not running shit, like, maybe with production, but I think she got a little clout over there. And so she been stacking and doing good. Like, she just looked better. Like, you could just see her growth, right? And then now she's back on Zeus. So apparently she's still climbing. Like, her worth is still worth something because this motherfucker done found her way back up in the jungle with the Zeus girls. So yeah, E.T. pull up. And then it's another lady. I can't call these bitches ladies. I'm sorry. So the other bitch to come from the Now That's Zeus, well, she's coming in on the Now That's Zeus team is Pressure. So I have seen Pressure a little bit. First off, y'all know I already feel a little guilty because me and my big age be watching and consuming this shit. I already feel some kind of way about it. I ain't gonna lie. But fuck it. Everybody got a guilty pleasure, bitch. This is mine. Okay? Wait a minute. I did say that Pressure got beef with ET and Ivory, but I did not specify that them hoes went at it at their little meetup. I say that to say that I know about Pressure a little bit because I've seen a little bit of the Now That's TV content, but they like a little extra ratchet for me. So I couldn't really just like get into it all the way. You know what I'm saying? So I know Pressure a little bit, but Pressure, she pull up and everybody got beef with her. Like, I guess these bitches beef online in between seasons and so they can build up some tension or something. But her and Ivory go way back and her and E.T. go back. And they already ready for her when she walk in the door. The next stop, we go to the introduction for the Baddies Gone Wild girls. Now, that's another one that, I don't know. I just couldn't get into Baddies Gone Wild. I tried. I thought the Ming Lee shit was fucking weird. Like, why? What? I just thought that shit was weird. You know what I'm saying? So I couldn't get into the Baddies Gone Wild. The few little episodes that I did see, I liked Bahati. She grew on me throughout that season. Her and what's the man's name? The Latina man person. I kind of liked her because I thought she was kind of trying to be the voice of reason. They were trying to like make her fight and shit, and she stood her little ground for the most part. She ended up still fighting. She tried to get in there, but I liked her and I liked Bahati on there for the 2 seconds that I could watch that shit because I couldn't even get into them. Little TT, she just, that motherfucker, oh my God, bless her heart, Lord. Speaking of TT, Bahati has been assigned to be the captain of that team. TT, Hurricane M, and Daisy Dukes. Ugh. I don't know. Daisy Dukes, I can't. I don't want to say I don't like her because I don't know her in real life. And then the other things I have to keep in mind that she's a little girl to me. So I can't just be like, ugh, you know. But she's annoying little bitch. And so I'm not really all that thrilled to see her. Hopefully she'll be able to do something. I don't know. But Daisy Dukes is up in there with them. And so Bahati and them, they talk. So with the Baddies Gone Wild girls, Bahati and Daisy end up getting into it because I think Daisy was mad that Bahati is so damn retarded. I can't say. Bahati is so intellectually delayed that she ended up posting Daisy's address or something on the internet. I guess Daisy said her house was on fire. Bahati was like, bitch, stop lying. So she posted the shit online. So Daisy come in and she fired up about that. She's mad as hell about that. And then TT and Hurricane M, they show up together and they mad at Bahati. What was they mad? I think Bahati jumped somebody or Hurricane felt like she had jumped her or something at their little reunion, which was 5 fucking years ago. Like, don't nobody remember this shit, but she's still carrying the beef, honey. So her and Bahati end up getting into a fight and they fight and they all over the place and somebody's wig gets snatched off and, you know, y'all know how they go. So next we go back to where Nat and Rolly, they're still together and they end up showing up at the LA house and they meet up with a couple girls. So the first girls that show up, the first trio, remember I said they had them broken up in trios and then you're going to have the standalone girls kind of left over. So the first trio that show up is Mariah, Tasiki. So glad Tasiki back. I love watching her. Mariah, Tasiki, and Biggie show up. And so they come together and they hash out their little thing. And I guess Biggie just so goddamn sensitive. She just so sensitive, bless her heart. She was upset because Tasiki is cool with Lex. And I guess Lex did some shit or said some shit that was fly about her. And she felt some kind of way about that. And when she came to the reunion, Tasiki hugged Lex, like greeted her. You know what I'm saying? And Biggie was feeling some kind of way about that shit. And Tasiki was like, I'm not finna be fighting everybody battles, bitch. Like, I don't got no problem with that girl. You know what I'm saying? So she reached out to hug me, so I hugged her. And you telling motherfuckers that I'm gonna go get her, like, she was like, don't do that, you know? Which I agree. See, so the dangerous part with Tasiki, you know, people be paranoid about you if you got money, right? So people with money, they probably be like, they don't know who cool with them for the money and all that kind of shit. Tasiki gotta watch that shit with these bitches, right? Because these bitches will probably come up in here and smile and skin and grin in her face because they feel like they want her to be on their side if they got to squabble up, you know what I'm saying? And so I think she is protecting her energy, you know. She go. If she needs to go, she gonna go, bitch. It ain't that she not gonna go. Okay. But she seems to respect her little limits and her little boundaries, and she stood on that shit with Biggie. I would say, I've already alluded to the fact that Biggie is extremely sensitive. But Biggie don't mean no harm. She just sensitive, y'all. She just sensitive. And that's my little boo. I like Biggie. I love her. Y'all know, if you've ever seen any of my other videos where I'm talking about her, that bitch stay fresh. She is giving it up for the big bitches. I matter of fact, I probably watch this shit not mostly. I watch it mostly for the squabbling, but I watch a lot of it just to see what Biggie gonna be wearing. You know what I'm saying? Cause she come up in there, she be fresh as hell, fresh. Now there's a lot of them little bitches can't fuck with what Biggie be doing. I don't know if she got a stylist. I don't know what she got going on, but it is working, honey. So I like Biggie, but you know you gotta call bullshit when it's bullshit. She's just a little too sensitive, and so you know she gonna have to reel it in. But I will say, it looked like they talk went well. They talked about it. Everybody got their little side out. They hugged at the end. They told each other they love each other because they feel like a real friendship. Like some of these bitches is probably like the Summer Dolly Lex shit where they just kind of clicked up on the show and they just doing that. But it feel like her and Mariah, like they all really do music and shit, so they probably be traveling and performing together. Like they fuck with each other for real. So you can feel that, you know. So they made up and then they was okay. We like that. Child, and then we get to the cabaret girls. Then we get to the motherfucking cabaret girls. Now, I am not a huge Jocelyn Hernandez fan. I think she cool. I don't really have no major opinions about her one way or the other. But I mentioned that because I ain't never been moved to watch that show. But I did get an introduction to a few of them on this episode. So first we get Sweet Neek. Sweet Neek is the one that has been designated to be the captain of this squad. Second, we have Egypt that show up. I like Egypt. Egypt bad than the motherfucker too. She is cute, honey. Okay, big old, she's cute the motherfucker. I like Egypt. So she comes in. They kind of talk a little bit. And then we have girl. Then we get to meet Miss Wet Wet. Now, some of y'all already know Wet Wet. If you watch the Cabaret Girls on their show, then y'all probably already familiar with her. I have never seen this bitch ever in my life. I think I should reserve my opinion of her until I get to the end of the season. Because I will say that Wet Wet, she is giving, you know, Figueroa Road in LA. Y'all know, I guess that's the block out there. Like, she gives that to me. Very extensive substance abuse issues and all the things. Listen, no judgment. You gotta make it, you know, get it how you live it. Wet Wet is quite the character. And then she's so little, bless her heart. She's just so hungry. I want to give her a sandwich. But that's the first time I have seen Wet Wet, which it gets very interesting during this whole little meetup that they do. And then lastly, we have Amber. Amber is gorgeous. I was like, oh my God. You know who Amber looked like to me? Amber reminds me of Suki. I don't know if it's the eye shape or something like that. I don't know. But she is gorgeous, honey. She come up there with her little sultry ass and she just, oh, the girl. I really like Amber. Well, so far. Because I think she kind of on some bullshit. She gives me, I'm really scared to be here because I ain't really with the fighting shit. But I'm going to fight first because if one of these bitches jump, they might beat me up type of vibe. That's what she give off. So, I mean, just keep that 100. But now her and Amber and Wet Wet, apparently they got some pre-existing issues because when Amber get there, she thumps the shit out of Wet Wet and they fight and wrestle a little bit. And Wet Wet does her a victory dance. If you've seen the episode, you saw her victory dance. She likes to display her personal zones, her personal areas. She likes to, you know, Wet Wet is something. She's a lot. She's a lot. Mm-hmm. But anyway, they had their little thing. And so they finally break up and then they end up hugging. So I guess they just needed to get the little beef out their system or something. I don't know. And then also Amber seems to have like a little tension with everybody. I don't think she have like a tension with everybody, but she seems, you know what Amber give me, aside from the shit that I just said before? Amber gives me like super on guard. Like she don't trust none of them hoes. Which she probably got a very good reason for that. So ain't no judgment there neither. But she seems like she just come in that hoe like, you know, nuck if you buck, like on 1,000. And it's just like, damn, like, breathe, bitch. We just got here, you know what I'm saying? Lastly, I think they're going to have one more girl that show up, but she come in a minute. Yeah, so I think that's where this episode ends, is where the Cabaret Girls is in there. And so we end off with the Cabaret Girls on episode 1, I do believe, and then we go into episode 2. And so because I'm gonna be doing these back to back, I'm not even gonna give no previews of the episode 2. All I'm gonna say is a quick rundown of how I'm feeling about the girls. Like I already told y'all, pretty much, I don't give a fuck about the Baddies Gone Wild girls. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, whoever, I'm always happy to see people doing their big ones and shit, get your money, but none of them, I don't have a vested interest in none of what the fuck they got going on. I could really just care less. I will say this about TT. TT is so cute to me, and she's so goddamn wild. I want to, how some people you want to like them? I want to like TT, I really do, but I just ain't there yet. So, whatever they got going on. Bahati, she's cute. I like Bahati or whatever. But I ain't checking for really none of the Baddies Gone Wild girls. The Now That's Zeus girls. So, y'all already know, I love me some Ivory. I love Ivory. I love the fuck out of Ivory. I just do. I don't care. Judge me. I don't give a fuck what you say. I love Ivory. I would be able to watch her fight all them girls 15 times a day in all the episodes. And I know that sounds so retarded and immature, but I would. And then E.T., I'm happy to see E.T. back. I think she got a lot of scores she needs to settle, and I want to see her do her shit. And then Pressure, I don't know. I guess I don't really understand why Pressure is there. I do understand she's there to settle scores and to get ratings. So I guess we just gonna see what that is or whatever. And I think it's cute they got Diamond being the captain because of the closeness that her and Ivory have. I love their friendship too. I hope it's real. It look real. It feel genuine because Ivory don't feel like one of these bitches that's able to really just play like y'all close and she like you and shit. But I really like their friendship. I think that shit is super cute. So I'm checking for the Now That's Zeus girls. I want to see what they gonna do. The trios, we already went over the Biggie, Mariah, and Tasiki trio. They just gonna do whatever they gonna do. That's cool. I'm always happy to see them together. It don't matter one way or the other. Now the next episode I think is where we get into the Big Legs, Dolly, and Summer trio to try to see if we can fix that. Oh, the other trio was Fauna, Cold Killer, and K. I'm couldn't call it girl, Puerto Rican. K. Rican is back, and she's in there with Fauna and Cold Killer. So that's gonna be on the next episode or whatever. But I'm chomping at the bit, and I'm ready to see these motherfuckers go. So I hope y'all ride with me. So that's all I got to say about that shit. I'm your girl, the Benji B. I'm finna go find me something else to watch on TV. I'll catch y'all next time.